It seems to me that more people have changed their opinion of Rarity than any other pony of the main six. Many people who start watching the show seem to get their first impressions of Rarity fairly quickly. On the surface, she seems quite similar to many other characters that they've seen before. She has an obsession with fashion, she can't stand getting dirty, and she constantly holds herself to a higher standard. I have to admit, even I didn't have a very high opinion of her when I began watching MLP. What makes Rarity a fascinating character is the fact that she exceeds so many people's expectations of her. She doesn't fall into all the tired stereotypes that you might think she would. It's no surprise to see a character who loves dresses, but it is surprising to see that character run her own business by making dresses. It's no surprise seeing Rarity clash with Applejack over petty quirks, or even that they resolve their differences. It is surprising to see these two actually have a fight and come to apologize without either one breaking character the entire time. Both their fighting and the resolution feels like each of them truly believes in what they are saying. Whenever I see characters in other shows that love dresses, despise uncouth behavior, and walk with an aura of being upper class, they often seem shallow and uninteresting to me. What makes Rarity so different is the depth and behavior that the writers add to her. Rarity maintains being prim and proper whenever and wherever possible, but she can also make you feel welcome even if you aren't holding yourself to the same standards that she does. Rarity doesn't write you off just because you aren't interested in the same things that she is. She actually takes the time to learn about you before forming an opinion. Rarity is far from perfect, though. I mentioned in my first video how much Rarity loves being the center of attention, which can also make her a little insensitive. More than once, we have seen Rarity lose herself in the admiration of others at the expense of her friends. We have also seen Rarity use her charms on others to get what she wants, even when she fully realizes how much they are giving up to make her happy. Seeing Rarity at her best behavior helps me to respect her character, and seeing Rarity at her worst behavior leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But knowing that Rarity has such high highs and low lows makes her a more diverse and thus more interesting character. When you see Rarity failing at being a good pony, it makes the lesson she learns much more believable and heartfelt. Both her talents and her faults come together to make a character that feels like something you haven't seen before. I may not have had a high opinion of Rarity when I first met her, but getting to know more about her character has made me think twice about doubting in her. I know there are some people out there who don't think Rarity is an enjoyable character, and I can understand some of the reasons as to why. Rarity has learned many lessons since MLP began, but some of her lessons seem to have less of an impact than others. There are also times when Rarity makes mistakes and yet doesn't get called out on it. In Secret of My Excess, Spike learns about generosity and actually has a touching moment with Rarity at the end of the episode. But when I thought about how the episode started, I realized that Spike learned about being generous because of Rarity's bad behavior. I know the story couldn't have happened the way it did unless Spike was willing to give up something that was precious to him. And it is admirable to see him give away his own birthday present. But Rarity knew how much the gem meant to Spike, and decided to charm her way into getting it anyways. So yeah, there are times in the series when I think Rarity is going a little too far with her methods. But despite her faults, Rarity is still growing on me as a character. For each moment we see her being superficial and selfish, there is another moment where she shows devotion and charity. For every moment we see her going a little too far, there is a moment where she is setting a good example for others. Having a character like Rarity adds a lot to the group dynamic in MLP. There will probably be people who still don't like Rarity, and there are some legitimate reasons as to why they think that way. But I believe that she is getting better with her weaknesses, and that she has times where she does show a good example. So let me now pose a question. Out of all the moments where Rarity is growing as a character, which lesson has left the most impact on her? In Suited for Success, Rarity learns that by trying to please everyone, she can end up pleasing no one. In Sonic Rainboom, Rarity learns how important it is to keep your hooves on the ground and be there for your friends. In Green Isn't Your Color, Rarity learns that she should trust her friends with her secrets. In Sweet and Elite, Rarity learns that no matter where you go, you shouldn't be ashamed of where you come from, because your home and your upbringing will always be a part of who you are. Each of these are very good lessons that I hope Rarity is taking to heart. But the one lesson that has left the most impact on her comes in Sisterhood Social. At the start of the episode, Rarity is put in charge of her sister Sweetie Belle for a week while their parents go out on vacation. Even before their parents are out the door, we get the sense that Rarity is not looking forward to spending so much time with her sister. But it is easy to see that Sweetie Belle wants to do everything she can with Rarity. Even though Sweetie Belle is far from being able to take care of herself, she wants to do everything that Rarity does. And right from the get-go, Rarity is showing that she is far too particular about doing things a certain way. Sweetie Belle tries to do her best in pleasing Rarity, but ends up making some very understandable mistakes along the way. It also doesn't help that Rarity seems to blow things out of proportion. Sweetie Belle seems to have run out of ideas when Apple Bloom suggests that they take part in the Sisterhood Social. But with Rarity being Rarity, Sweetie Belle is being brushed aside once again. The sisters end up clashing because each of them thinks that the other is not being sympathetic. And we can understand both sides of the argument. When Sweetie Belle starts spending time with Applejack and Apple Bloom, she sees a vastly different relationship. As I mentioned in my Applejack video, the Apple sisters have a very close bond, and it really shows during this episode. It doesn't take long for Sweetie Belle to notice how much more empathetic Applejack is when compared to Rarity. And at the same time, Rarity starts to notice that she may have overreacted to her sister's efforts, even to the point of heartbreak when she sees Sweetie Belle's picture. She realizes that she has made a grave mistake and then...
No! I must get her back! I must! Celestia is my witness! I shall never be sisterless again!
I love all the little references they throw in here. Rarity goes off to find Sweetie Belle and begs her forgiveness, but hasn't quite yet realized what Sweetie Belle needs from her. It's apparent that Rarity wants to spend time with her sister and even starts suggesting some of her favorite activities. But Sweetie Belle isn't interested in learning how to make a quiche. It isn't until after Sweetie Belle and Apple Bloom leave that Rarity begins to learn how she has been failing. Applejack shows a lot of wisdom in her words here.
Oh, Rarity. Once again, you're thinking about yourself. Being sisters is a give and take. You've been doing a whole lot of taking, but you haven't been doing a whole lot of giving. But of course I give. I give lessons, reasonable demands, but you never give in.
This is yet another reason why I have so much respect for Applejack. The next day, Rarity takes it upon herself to do whatever it takes to spend time with her sister, even to the point of doing things that we never expected to see Rarity doing. Getting drenched in mud, running in a race, completing all kinds of physical challenges, all for the sake of Sweetie Belle. It is a very touching scene because we know that Rarity had to do her utmost to make it happen. This is one of the moments that shows us why Rarity is the element of generosity. And Rarity actually takes this lesson to heart. We can see this during Sleepless in Ponyville when Sweetie Belle asks Rarity to take her camping. This is the lesson that leaves the most impact. It is admirable to see Rarity make dresses for her friends even when they are being so demanding. It is relatable to see Rarity and Fluttershy learn about trusting in each other. And it is comforting to know that Rarity will not abandon her friends even if it might mean giving up on her dream. But it is inspiring to see Rarity be willing to go so far to get her sister back. This is the moment that Rarity grows the most as a character, when she puts aside her own nature to be closer to Sweetie Belle. I know that Rarity has faltered at times, and will likely do so again. But I do find it inspiring when I see a character go against everything we know about them all for the sake of family. It shows us that there is more to learn about Rarity. I may not relate to Rarity as well as other characters, but I do enjoy seeing her exceed my expectations. She teaches us how important it is to put aside your own desires when your family needs you. I hope that each of us will take a moment and think about our own family relationships. Can we learn from Rarity's example? Can we put aside our own nature to draw closer to those we care about?
Having a sister is just about the bestest thing in the world. but it sure isn't the easiest.
I agree that being sisters is a wonderful thing, but it takes teamwork. Sometimes it's about compromising. Sometimes it's about accepting each other's differences. But mostly, it's about having fun together. Even if it means getting your hooves a little bit dirty.
A lot dirty.
There will be times when our work and our nature may draw us away from our family. But our work won't last as long as our family relationships. And we can find the strength to put aside our nature if we choose to make it important enough. I would like to hear your thoughts on Rarity and the choices she has made. And I hope that we will be seeing more of Rarity in the future. I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.